Hey everybody, my name is Kim Hewitt and I am an instructor at the University of West Georgia and I teach educational technology to future teachers. I also teach educational foundations courses. I'm the project director for the professional development course that you have signed up for, and I'm really excited that you have decided to join us. I call it Tool Plus because we use Georgia Virtual School's tool course, but we also take it into the classroom in the fall where hopefully you can try to enact one of the goals that you set at the end of the tool course in the summer. So that's why I call it Tool Plus occasionally. At any point, I would urge you to check out this site, onlinepd2014.wiki.wesco.edu. Here's a quick snapshot of it. Let's see here. I'm going to go to the home page. Anyway, from the home, you can read about the schedule a little bit, and over here on the right are links to various things that I'll also be referring to today in this presentation. All right, so what is the purpose of this professional development? Well, first of all, the purpose is mostly defined by you guys, so I can impose some purpose on it, which is what I'm doing now. But I hope that you will find your own purpose as well. I hope that you decide to make this professional development experience your own. I'm sure you will. You know what you need to do and what you need to learn, and that's why you're here. But part of the purpose, I know, is to increase knowledge and skills related to teaching and learning in online and blended environments. We intentionally are having science teachers so that hopefully we can make it really specific to the science classroom. Another purpose is to support your enactment of at least one goal that you set. So you set that goal in summer, you enact it in fall. We're also going to have access to 3 live online Georgia Virtual School science classes in the fall, and you get to go in, lurk and peek and look around, and you can talk to that science teacher at the end of that lurking window. And then, of course, another purpose is to network with like-minded colleagues. So like-minded in terms of some of you are coming with people from the same school. A lot of, you're all from the same district. And then, of course, I teach at the University of West Georgia. I'm looking forward to working with you, learning from you, learning about what challenges you face and all that. And Dr. Andy Walter, he's also going to be, he's from the College of Science. He's looking forward to working with you as well. And we all have a lot to learn from one another. Let's go ahead and take a moment to hear from Phoebe. She's another person. She's a graduate student at University of West Georgia in the school improvement program. She actually lives right outside of Chicago. She took this tool course this spring. Let's go ahead and hear from her about what it was like, and then I'll go ahead and take over after she shares with us.
Hi, my name is Phoebe Valentine, and I'm here to talk to you about the tool MOOC that you'll be taking this summer. I had the opportunity to take this course in the spring with Dr. Jason Hewitt, and I found it to be an extremely helpful opportunity. I am a face-to-face teacher in Sycamore, Illinois, which is just outside of Chicago. This year, all my classes are face-to-face, but next year I'll be implementing our school's first blended learning course, which I'm really excited about. As far as the tool MOOC, I found it to be very helpful for online and blended learning and teaching, but it was also extremely helpful to my practice as a face-to-face teacher. We all need to integrate more technology, and I learned a lot about how to do that in an effective, safe, and helpful way. Some of the things that you're going to do in this course would be creating some blogs, and those were really helpful in getting me to think about what I want to do with the technology I'm learning about, how I can best implement that, and setting some goals for myself. Another thing you'll be doing is creating a lot of products. You'll get to work with learning management systems. You'll get to create some things that you can use for a portfolio. And it gave me the extra practice I needed with some of these items of technology. I learned about technology that was very new to me. And I also learned how to better utilize and learned more about some technology that I already knew a little bit about. My big piece of advice for taking this course is don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until Sunday night to get things done. If you get them done earlier in the week, it'll seem like a lot less work, and it'll be really easy to get this course done.
Okay, so that was great to hear from Phoebe, and let's try to heed some of those tips. Um, I would estimate that about 75 to 80% of your workload takes place in the summer and about 25% in the fall. Maybe even 15 to 20%. It's much less in the fall, even though it seems like there's a lot written on a calendar, but there's also a lot of flexibility. And so when you go look at, if you want to know, okay, what do I really have to do? If you're motivated by that $500 stipend, you're going to want to go check out the things that you have to do for that stipend. And you'll find that it's actually less than maybe what you would have thought. So we have some flexibility. Tom Brown helped me to make sure that I was designing this flexibly, so I'm not saying you must do X, Y, and Z. And certainly I respect your time as incredibly busy professionals who also need a summer break. I think that this will fit well in your summer. It'll be stimulating. It'll give you a little bit of work to do, but you'll have plenty of time each week to also go do, go to the water park and go to the soccer games and all that other stuff that you might want to do this summer. There's going to be 15 Cobb County middle grade science teachers in this course, 2 UWG faculty members, and Phoebe, like I told you, we met her just a moment ago. She's also going to be hopping in and out. A quick glance at the people involved. We've got people from Cobb, University of West Georgia, from an evaluation team called Effective Evaluation, and Georgia Virtual School, who've all participated in designing this experience. All the folks in bold are people that you may encounter, and certainly this is a grant-supported professional development experience supported through a teacher quality grant, which is run out of UGA, and the folks there have been incredibly helpful. I mean, I bet there's 50 people involved in the design piece of this, which is crazy. The design and the financial piece and just the grant management piece. All right, quickly, calendar. Again, so I'm trying to sort of repeat so that it eventually kind of makes sense. In the summer, which I call phase 1, we've got 6 weeks of activities. In the fall, we've got, from August through December, a number of activities. Let's look at the summer, first of all, and I want to give you a way to think about this, because in a way this looks like a nightmare, right? Your whole summer's eaten up. Well, yes and no. If you think about how these so this is a teacher quality grant, like I said, and normally the way these work, most folks who run these will take a week of your life, which is not a bad thing. I'm not trying to make it sound bad, but you would have a week where you're driving to a site and you're there for 8 or 9 hours a day. For a whole week, and that's a real commitment. That's another kind of commitment where your butt's in that seat for that whole week, for those 5 days, and that includes some driving and lunch probably. So sorry I can't give you a lunch, but that's a whole week. So what this does is it allows you to say from June 2nd to 8th, you're going to work for maybe 1 day of that week on this. So you can look at the first 5 weeks as kind of like a day, the equivalent of a day at a face-to-face workshop type of thing. So this gives you the flexibility to incorporate this professional learning into your summer holiday, which is both a blessing and a curse. And I can just tell you that I teach fully online, and I have more flexibility. I can drop everything to take my daughter to the doctor like I did yesterday. At the same time, I'm sitting there working on my laptop. So it's got its pluses and minuses, and that's what you're going to get to experience. The way we have this set up is that we want to try to push you and encourage you and support you to do everything in the first 5 weeks, and then in that last week there's actually no more tool work to do if you've done it all, but there may be one online meeting where you give your feedback to the evaluators about how it went. So that would be a live online meeting that happens there. You could also use that last week to to do some of the work if it spills over. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Then another way to look at this is, let's say that you want to take 2 weeks off. You could do all of the work in that first week, or you could do all of that work in the first 2 weeks and then take those 3 weeks off. So you have that flexibility to schedule your time, but you do want to kind of make sure you get everything done by July 13th. Let me put it that way to you. And certainly we're going to want to hear from you in terms of the evaluators are going to want to hear from you around this last week of how things went for you. Okay. Then you're going to have some time away from us, and you're not going to have to think about us at all from July 14th to August 10th. Then in the fall, we have these 3 windows, these 3 2-week windows. We have one in August, one in September, and then one in late September and early October. Basically, during this window of time, you can come check out an online learning event, and that should say 2, and that should say 3 right there. There's going to be 3 online learning events. This is where we come in and we lurk and look at these Georgia Virtual School science teachers classes. Go look at something they want us to see as part of their science teaching practice online. And then at the end of that session, there'll be a Saturday debrief session, live, synchronous, together, which you may or may not attend. We hope we will attend, that you'll want to be there for the live conversation. But there certainly will be an archive that you can view and listen to, and that will count just as much because we respect your need to have flexibility in terms of scheduling. So you should be able to come in during this window for 30 minutes to an hour to go look at whatever it is that the teacher wants you to see, and then you can come to the live meeting at the end, which should be about an hour, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, give or take. If you can't make that time, you can watch the archive if you want. And to get the stipend, we're asking that you check out 2 out of 3 of these. Okay? To get the stipend up here, we're asking that you do 4 out of 5 of these major areas of the tool course. Now, to get the tool badge that Georgia Virtual School offers and that we are paying for, if you want it, you have to do all of these to their satisfaction. So, let's see, what else? At the end of the fall, we do want to have at least one live meeting in December where you tell us about your goal enactment. How did it go? What did you try? How did and what are your next steps after this professional development? How did the professional development go for you from June through December? So there will be live meetings then, and you're going to have to give us some input into when and how we schedule those. All right, in terms of give and take, what do you give? Well, you need to be employed at Cobb for 2014, 2015. You're going to put in 60 to 90 hours of work. A lot of that is within your area of... It's up to you how much work you put in. You can skimp in certain areas if you need to. You can be efficient. Sometimes I bog down. I'm probably the 90-hour type of person. But you can probably get this done in less time. There are about 56 quests in the tool course that you're going to want to do if you want to earn that full Georgia Virtual School badge. Maybe a few less if you just want to do the bare minimum to get your stipend. You're going to want to set and enact one goal in fall. You're going to want to produce 5 blog posts where you kind of talk to us, where the learning community, let us know how things are going for you, that kind of thing. And then there's going to be between 2 and 4 online meetings, at least 1 online meeting at the end of each phase, and there could be more if you count those, if you decide to attend live the meetings that came at the end of these online learning events, for example. So that's why I put 2 to 4. Maybe it's even 2 to 5 online meetings, but again, I'm trying to convey that there is flexibility in some of this. What you get out of this is a lot of stuff. You get 5 PLUs that will be Cobb approved. We'll deal with that Cobb paperwork, by the way, in January of 2015, and we're working with them and getting them to approve this as we speak. You can get the tool badge if you decide to do all of these quests, all 5 of those major quest areas. If you go for that, you'll get a tool badge out of it. That's something cool you can put on your Vita and you can brag to your friends about. You'll get a $500 stipend if you do all of the things that are tied to that. By the way, if you go to the wiki site that I have told you about and you go over to stipend related paperwork, there's a table here, what participants do to earn stipends. That will tell you very clearly what you need to do. And it's actually, I think it's pretty doable. And it really tries to keep you around a 50 to 70 hour max range. Tries to keep the workload reasonable for you to get that stipend. You're going to get a refreshing take on your practice, I think. Teaching is hard and we need to be refreshed. You get to network with colleagues and maybe make some new friends. And you get a free and awesome book from ISTE, which should arrive later in May to your district, to your school, through Tom Brown. All right, so technologies. Definitely you're going to be working with Blackboard, the Cobb County Blackboard. We want you to work with it, become a little more familiar with it, so that you can possibly use that in your teaching practice at Cobb. We'll have access to Blackboard Collaborate. You'll even be able to lead your own Collaborate sessions should you desire it. So we'll have moderator access where you guys can actually use it if you want. Definitely we'll have Edmodo as a backup social networking tool, which may become more important in the fall than it is in the summer. In the summer, we're really going to hit it hard with Blackboard. In the fall, Edmodo may be the preferred way for us to share things and communicate. Also email, so Edmodo plus email. And then possibly we've got a number of other tools that we can learn about. I'm happy to set up live training sessions online and teach you about these various tools. So you guys will have to let me know what it is that you want from me in that area, because I know how to use all of those. Well, not all of the Web 2.0. You may have a lot of Web 2.0 stuff that you know about that I don't, for sure, and other tools. These are just some examples. Tech stuff that you need. You definitely need a computer with internet access. You want to update that Java on your computer. You need a phone, which I assume you have. Preferred that you have a webcam and a microphone. Webcams usually have a microphone embedded within them. If you don't have a webcam, but you have a microphone, that's helpful. That's fine. You don't have to have these two things, by the way, but they make teaching and learning in online and blended environments much easier. Cobb County Blackboard login credentials. You may have those. On my end, I'm also trying to make sure that you have those. So if you do have them, great. What I mean by that is that you can log into Blackboard at Cobb County. You also want to have an Edmodo login. I'll talk about that more in a moment. Around May 26th, I'm going to be sending out a welcome email. It may ask you about the technology tools you currently use and those that you desire to use. You'll get your informed consent documentation about those evaluation moments. So like at the end of each phase, evaluators will be asking you to participate in interviews and or focus groups, one or the other. And this documentation will give you your informed consent. Blackboard login information, there will be some conversation about that. Either I will provide some for you if you don't have it, or I will say, hey, you have a Blackboard login and you know what it is. Just depends on. I'm not really sure about this one. We're working on it at Cobb. And then there may be a coupon code from Georgia Virtual School to tell you how to sign up for the tool course. Okay, so your next steps are to go check out the stipend-related paperwork and try to mail that to me by the end of the month. Okay, so go check that out and go check out my timeline and try to get that done. You decide. You decide if you're comfortable with the things we're asking you to do for the stipend. You do not have to earn the stipend. You can go through the professional development course in whatever fashion you desire, to be quite honest. And just completely decide the stipend is not of concern to you. So go check out the stipend stuff, get the paperwork in if you're interested in it. Please join our Edmodo site. I've got a how to join Edmodo link here, but it's also in the email I sent out. And do try to log in to Blackboard at Cobb County and see if you can. If you know your Blackboard username, send it to me. If you don't, let me know that you don't have one. If you have any questions or comments, send me an email or call me on the phone at any point. And finally, a few notes about how this video was made. Not all of this is actually true. I ended up changing course in the middle of it, but basically I made a PowerPoint. I'm currently recording it with Camtasia as I speak to you now. Then this movie, this Camtasia video, I'll save it and open it up in Camtasia, and then I'll split the screen. Let me go ahead and just show you. I'm going to slide this over because I need to insert Phoebe's. Let's see, Phoebe's testimonial goes here after slide 2. So I'm going to, inside of Camtasia, I'm actually going to split the video between slides 2 and 3. And I'm going to slide Phoebe's video in there. And then I'm going to, let's see if I can get this line back up. I'm going to produce the video in Camtasia so that it's YouTube ready. Then I'm going to upload it to YouTube. Then I'm going to get the link from YouTube and send that to you in the email. And I'm also going to embed that YouTube video on the wiki, the homepage of this wiki at Online PD 2014. So I'm going to try to, anytime there's an opportunity, I will try to tell you how I did something. And I'm estimating that this will have taken 5 hours, including Phoebe's time, to put all this together. But this does not include actually planning the message. Planning the message took me another 4 hours because I take forever doing that kind of thing. All right, you guys, I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes. Thank you so much, and let me know how I can help.